what is it, the the Grind Radio platform, guys. Go to that platform and check it out, thegrindradio.com, and you should be able to see me on that platform as well. And you can also go back and listen to the show in the archives as well there on YouTube. And what we try to do is, every platform, they basically censor the music. The only one that doesn't, as of yet, is Instagram. So I know I need to be on that platform. Okay, I'm getting a thumbs up on YouTube. I know we need to be on that platform as well. So we're working that out so we can get on, all 4 platforms. But it's an undertaking because, you want to be able to play music, and the music that's not copyrighted, it's just not my flavor of music. And it doesn't have the oomph that I really wanted to have. And I love music because I believe music can change moods. I believe music can change mindsets. I believe music, can bridge a lot of gaps in people's lives. So and we want to try to be on every platform that we can get on. So we're definitely working on Instagram as well. As soon as I get me a program manager, God is going to send me somebody, that's good at pulling everything together, that sees the vision. I'm putting that out there in the atmosphere. God, somebody that sees the vision and somebody that can, dedicate and say, you know what? I see this, man. Let's run this thing. And I want to be the program manager. I want to pull all of this stuff together for you. I want to be a blessing. I want to help the grind get to the next level, then the next level, and the next level. I talked about that in an earlier episode. I talked about how every great person, or every great thing, or every great show, or every great group, band, whatever you want to call it, all started at the core. It all started with one person, then it started with 2, and then there may become another person. So they made a very, very small core group of people that they were able to deal with. And as they were doing that, guys, it was just those people that were doing the legwork. And in everything that you do, whether you guys know it or not, you can go to you can go to a mega church, you can go to a Fortune 500 company, you can go from the biggest company to the largest company, from the smallest church to the largest church, from the smallest family to the largest family. It goes on and on and on, guys. You're going to find one core group of people that are really, really holding that thing together. And those are the people that are dedicated and committed. So let me flip over here to Facebook, because I missed y'all on Tuesday. I wanted to dedicate Tuesday to definitely just to the Blog Talk Radio platform. And if you guys scroll back and you see how I used to do shows in the very beginning of Blog Talk Radio, the grind, you would see a slightly different format. It was more, it was a little more robotic, but it was always unscripted. So, and I flip-flopped to that on Tuesday and just did the show on the radio. So if you guys ever get on the radio on Facebook Live, you don't see me on Facebook Live, then automatically go to the number that you see on the banner, 657-383-1291. God, I remembered that. Good. 657-383-1291. Immediately flip over to that, and you should hear me on the radio, because there are moments when I can't get on Facebook Live. I tried something new on Tuesday, and I wasn't able to actually pull it off because there was a lot of interference where I was, so I couldn't get on Facebook Live. I was trying to give you guys a new look, a new atmosphere, and I think this picture is crooked, guys, so I got to fix that. Reality. I couldn't get on Facebook Live. I couldn't get on anything outside of Blog Talk Radio. Dial it into that number, but go back and listen to that show. Right? Excuses, excuses, excuses. And it talks about the things we tell ourselves and making those excuses, procrastination, and excuses just being failure on layaway. So man, but we are back, man. We're right here on Facebook Live. I see you chiming in this morning, Miss Hope Richardson. Great morning to you. I see you, Miss Tawana Simmons. Great morning to you. Miss Sabrina Wright, what's going on? Great morning to you, young lady. Miss Rosina Scott, I see you live on the grind in Philadelphia. Great morning to you, Philly. Miss Princess Tavares, I see you live on the grind. She says YouTube is up and running. Awesome. That's what we want. Miss Gemma James Graham, good morning to you, young lady. I know your body should be sore right now, that working out we've been doing. Mr. John B. Riley, great morning to you, sir. Good to have you on the grind. Miss Sheila Blanchard, I see you out there chiming in, man, on the grind, man. You guys can go ahead and put your comments up right here, and I should be able to post them for you, man. But man, let's jump into this thing. I want to play another song for you guys, but not right at the moment. Yesterday we talked about excuses, man, excuses, and the fact that the excuses are keeping people stagnant and keeping people where they are, and people just they become professional. They become what we call professional. What do you call them? Professional. Man, what did I call them? Professional victims, right? Professional victims. And if you become a professional victim, ladies and gentlemen, that means that you are basically shooting your own self in the foot. And if you're shooting your own self in the foot, ladies and gentlemen, that means you're not getting anywhere, right? You're not getting anywhere. And what happens is when people keep making excuses in life, they get comfortable doing that. So I did a whole show on excuses, man, and I talked about some very valuable things that you guys need to go back, check the show out from yesterday. Go to blogtalkradio.com/thegrind101. I wasn't on YouTube yesterday, okay? Wasn't on YouTube yesterday. That's right, professional victim. So I wasn't YouTube, I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't on any platform except for blogtalkradio.com/thegrind101. So guys, go there and you can check out all of the episodes back from day one. Now going on 2 years now, almost, I guess. Yes, year and a half almost. So you can check out all those episodes. I think there's over 100 episodes there. Pretty interesting. So go back and check that out. But what do we want to talk about today? And we want to talk about room being at the top. I said on my Facebook post that there's always room at the top. And I said, why? Why is there always room at the top? And man, there's so many different reasons that there's room at the top, and people can rattle them off the top of their head. All this room that we have at the top, man, is simply because there are people that aren't willing to do what it takes to get to the top. And I'll give you one great example. That's right. Hope says because the bottom's too crowded. That's almost. I'm gonna add the other piece to that to you, Hope. I appreciate that comment. So me and Pam were at the mall one day, and what Hope just said is very relevant. The bottom is way too crowded, but if the bottom is way too crowded, why don't people just go to the top? If it's really too crowded, why don't people just go to the top? And Pam just hit the nail on the head, because people settle for the bottom. And we were at the mall one day and we started riding around. We were looking for a park, traditionally, as you do when you're at the mall. You start looking for a park because you want the low park on the low part, so you can just get out of the car and you can just walk right into the mall area where you are with the least amount of effort, right? So you got to figure out what your trade-in is, right? What do you want? So we're riding around the bottom, and Pamela's like, man, there's no parks down here. And I'm like, yeah, that's no park. I think you're right. People are waiting in aisles to get the parks. And immediately we're like, well, there's some parks at the top. We started going up the ramp, and sure enough, the second level, we see cars waiting. The third level, cars waiting. Now, after about that third level is when things start to slim down, right? So you start to see a couple cars waiting here and there. But when you get up to the top, I think it may have been about 4 or 5, maybe 6, maybe about 6 levels on this garage. We went all the way up to the top, all the way up to the top, guys. And it's funny. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's funny. When we went to the top, we saw a whole bunch of parks, right? And there were just a few cars up top, right? Just a few cars. And the cars that we saw up top, where I think we saw there may have been a Lambo up there. There may have been a Mercedes up there, and something else was up there. And it's amazing because when we got there, we had our pick of parks. So we parked and we got out, and we decided that we would go down the stairs because I told Pam, I said, the elevator is for suckers. We're not going to take the elevator. Let's take the stairs. Let's go down the stairs. So now, since we're up at the top, where the elites at, then why not just take the stairs and get our physical exercise in as well? So we started going down the stairs and went all the way down the stairs, and we saw the same people, a sea of red lights, waiting for parks. And I wanted to stand in the middle of the parking deck and say, there's room at the top, just go up. But you say, they know it's room at the top. They know that there are different levels, but people are so conditioned in their thinking that they just don't want to drive up anymore because they're not willing to do the work that it takes to drive up the ramp and then have to come down the stairs to get where you want to be. Now, while they're trying to find the park, we're probably in, and we've probably been in the mall for 10, 15 minutes before they got there. Early bird gets the worm. We've done our stuff. Time waits for no man. We're in, we're out, and you're probably just getting started, just coming in to do what you do, right? So that should kind of like resonate with somebody on the radio this morning, because I'm telling you, if you really think about it, I made a statement yesterday, and it said, if you want to be wealthy, if you want to be rich, whatever you want to call it, then you need to think like wealthy people, or think like rich people. If you want to be fit, if you want to be healthy, then you need to think like fit people. You need to think like healthy people, because your current state of mind has gotten you where you are to this point, right? So you got to change that thinking, and everything is preceded by the proper mindset. And that's, guys, the longer we sit back and make excuses to that, and say, okay, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow. You know what, I don't need, this feels good right here. Let me do this, right? So that is, the longer we do that, the longer we stay where we are. And guys, it really is a mindset. We talk about beast mode all the time. It's beast mode this, man. I'm getting ready to man up. I'm getting ready to woman up. I'm going in beast mode. I'm getting ready to do what I do because that's what I do, man. Pump your chest out. I'm the bomb. I got it. I believe in myself. This is it. This is that. And all of it's just lip service, because belief requires action. So when you start really moving and acting on the things that you believe in, and now people believe that you believe in what you believe in, because they actually see you putting forth the action to get where you want to be in what you believe in. But a lot of times people aren't willing to do that. I want to get some comments in here. Hope says, of course, she said the bottom is too crowded. We understand the bottom is too crowded, and we know why. There's so many people trying to be average down there. It's everybody trying to be common, trying to be in the comfort zone. And I don't know, walk that far because, I worked out yesterday. I don't walk that far because, I got this little hip problem and yada, 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 yada. Everybody wants a close park. I've seen people with my own eyes, and this is going to blow you guys' mind. I know some of you have seen it too. I've seen people not drive up 2 parks just so they can not park 2 parks away, just so they can get 2 parks closer, or even 1 park. They're waiting for somebody to come out, and it's 1 park sitting right here. It may be on this side, and they're waiting for the park on this side, 2 parks closer. What is that? Somebody got to help me with that. Tell me what that is, because I don't get it. As far as I can tell, as far as I know, the last time I checked, when you want to grow, if you want to build muscle physically, if you want to build your mindset mentally, and you want to build your bank account, you got to do more than everybody else is doing. So that means you got to build the muscle. You got to park a little further away and work a little bit more, a little bit harder to get what you want. Do the work now, have it easy later. Have it easy now, have to do the work later. I choose number 1. Work now, have it hard now, and have it easy later, right? So Pam says because people settle literally at the bottom. At the bottom. They have no intent on ever being elite because that's not comfortable. It's not comfortable to them. I don't need to be a part of the elite, but if I just act like I am for long enough, then people will believe that I am. That doesn't work, I can tell you that much. Um, uh, Robo says, and congrats on going director as well, Vovo again. Vovo says the pie is big enough, man. Absolutely, the pie is big enough. I'm telling you, it's big enough. There's plenty of room at the top. That's right. Jimmy says sheer laziness. There's plenty of room at the top. Plenty. So why not drive a little further? Why not park a little further out, get that exercise? Why not go a little further up, right? And Hope says, I think a bucket of crabs, letting others pull you down. And I'm gonna get to that in a minute. It just flashed up. Um, John says, not everyone is willing to do what it takes to rise up. Absolutely. Excuses that build monuments of nothingness. Those who specialize in them seldom accomplish anything, right? Monuments of nothingness. I love that. Faith without works is dead. John says, absolutely. Sean says, shoot, I get it. Yeah, it's an eye opener, man. I get it. Go to the top. Stop being average, right? Laziness. Great morning, Miss Carmel Hassan. Great to have you on the grind. Hope says, I think about the crabs, letting others pull you back or waiting on others to validate you by being like them. Yes, yes. Guys, the only person that validates you is God. Okay. Once you get that validation, then you go. And guess what? You had that validation from the time you left your mother's womb. Yeah, congrats to Vovo. Absolutely. Hitting director, man. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Awesome. What it says, hey, you're welcome. If you do not, Sean says, if you do what is easy in life, let me show. If you do what is easy in life, life will be hard. Do what's hard, your life will be easy. That's right. That's right. Do the hard stuff now. Do the hard stuff now, Sean. That's exactly what you want to do, man. You hit the nail on the head. Do the hard stuff now, and your life will be easy. So, guys, there's I talk about mindset all the time, man, and mindset is the thing that gets you going. If you don't have the proper mindset, then you're just faking. You really are. You're just faking. And most people don't make that climb to the top because, it's too steep. People aren't willing to build the muscles and take the hits, man, and sweat and hurt right now to get where they want to be. So they stay where they are, and it's funny because every time we work out or when you have to wake up and you have to listen to your motivation in the morning, your personal development, whenever you do it, morning, noontime, or evening, whenever you do it, when you have to listen to it, are you willing to carve out the 15 to 30 minutes to an hour to actually do what you do, to listen to something, to put something in order to get something out? Because it's nothing in, nothing out, right? So if you believe in yourself, then others are going to believe in you. And that's just point blank. But what we're doing is we're expecting people to believe in us, and we don't believe in ourselves. And if we get to that point in life to where we're willing to take those hits in the very beginning of our lives and do what needs to be done, void of what other people think, then it doesn't matter. Then you're taking the hits, right? That hill gets so steep, and you start losing people along the way because they quit. I'm not talking about quit and stop where they are. They quit and they go all the way back down to the bottom because it's easier down there. Now here's the catch: when you get to the top, in the parking garage, and you're up there and you say, okay, now I got to go down the stairs, 6 flights of stairs to get where I want to be. When you come back, here's the catch. Here's what separates the winners from the losers, the ones that have the tenacity or the ones that quit. Here's what separates here's what makes the cream rise to the top, right? If you know that you have work that you want to do and goals that you want to achieve, right? Then why not take the stairs back up to the top? If you want to have the things that other people want, then you have to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. If you're going to go in beast mode, you got to actually be a beast, and you got to do the things that beasts do. And guys, I don't care what field you're in. I don't care what company you work for. I don't care, who you are. No matter what, in order for you to be successful in whatever you do, you have to practice those principles that make that thing that has made other people successful in that thing, right? And ladies and gentlemen, you have to actually put the work in and be the beast that you say you are. All right. So it's about action. It's about rubber meeting the road, right? Carmel says looking for validation. No bueno. Harold Scott says, welcome to the grind, sir. Harold Scott says, unwillingness to sacrifice leads to self-destruction. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a great point. Yes, take the stairs. So taking the stairs, man, universal principles. Absolutely. What are the principles that govern the thing that you're in? And here's what happens in the comfort zone, guys. I remember this TV show, and I'm gonna date myself now. I'll still watch it to this day. I forget the name. It's Andy Taylor. It's Andy Taylor, the Mayberry, Opie, and Aunt B, and all of them. I remember Ned the Wino. Some of you remember this show, right? I remember Ned the Wino. He would go out every night and get drunk, right? He was an alcoholic. He would go out every night and get drunk, right? The definition of an insanity, right? But he wasn't insane. he wasn't really insane, because he did the same thing, but he expected the same results. And I think that's what kind of lulls people to sleep. People think that, people are doing things and they're expecting different results. No, people have gotten comfortable and they're doing things. And it's just like Ned the Wino, right? He would get drunk every night and he would bring himself into the sheriff station where Andy Taylor was. He would get the keys off the wall and he would stick it in the door, open the door and hang them back up and then close himself in the cell, because he didn't want to go out there and be reckless and worry about getting home. He knew how to get to the jail, and he would lock himself in and he would sleep it off. But he would do that every night consistently. And because he did that, it wasn't the definition of insanity. He just had a problem that he couldn't solve. He wasn't expecting any different results. He wasn't drinking expecting not to get drunk. He was drinking because he knew he was going to get drunk. And I've heard the saying said, people don't drink to get drunk. People drink to forget. People drink to not have to remember life or to just live the life that they want to live. People don't drink to get drunk. People drink to forget the things that they don't want to remember. And that's what Ned did. Ned was drinking to forget the things that he had failed on all his life. He was drinking to forget the fact that he didn't make a decision to not be average, to not be common. He was drinking because he didn't even get to the point that says, I'm expecting more and not doing more. No, he just gave up. I'm just going to get drunk every night and I'm going to lock myself in here because it feels good and somebody's going to let me sleep it off instead of me having to sleep out on the street, which is the very thing that's going to make me have to get myself up and stop doing what I do. Right? So you have to figure out in life, what is it that you really want to do? What is the thing that you say, I know is the toughest for me, right? What's the thing that you know is the toughest for you, but you're not doing it? That's probably the thing that you need to do. And all of us have dreams. All of us have hopes and aspirations on things that we want to do in life, but sometimes we just don't check in to do it, guys. You got a thing called the 97% and the 3%. The 3% are just the people that decided to get up and do something different. The 1% are the people that decided to dig a little harder and do something even more different, right? And that could have been, we call that the 1%, guys, is that old money, right? You people talk about old money and new money. 1% is that old money. That's the legacy. That's the generational wealth that's handed down from family to family, person to person, and now their whole generations to come. We talk about your children's. That's that old money that keeps moving. Who will start that cycle in their family? Some people say, you know what, man, I'm just trying to get some wealth. I'm just trying to create some legacy for my children. I can't think that far to say my children's children's children. But see, if you shoot for the moon and land on the stars, guys, that happens, right? It's okay. All right. If sometimes you may not reach that level, but at least you created something. But you got to be willing to take the hits and keep your head down and not worry about what everybody else is thinking about what you're doing, because God didn't give them the plan anyway. Right. So your legacy, everything that God has given you is up to you to create, but you got to stay out of that comfort zone. You got to say, you know what, I want to get to that 3%. I want to get to the top. And whatever you're doing, whatever company you're with right now, don't just settle for the bottom. Guys, one of the reasons I believe I was psychologically unemployable, guys, at, in 2011, is because I realized that in corporate America, I couldn't go any further. And the likelihood of me moving into where I really wanted to be was really no stability in that either. Because here's what I saw, okay? In corporate America, I saw the fact that I had a military education, all right? I didn't have the traditional 4-year college degree. I had a military education. I knew communications. I knew how to do some stuff that people will probably never do in life, that probably wasn't warranted in the regular civilian workplace. But I knew enough to get me in the door. And as I got in the door, guys, I worked my way as far as I could go. As far as I could go. I knew I couldn't go any further, because in order to be an executive in a company, they're going to typically want you to have that traditional 4-year degree. And I'm like, I don't have that. So I got to work my way out of this job. I got to get out now. Even if I had a 4-year degree, and this is how I rationalize things for myself. I looked at the people that were, quote unquote, at the top of the company in corporate America. I looked at those people, and all I saw was people stressed, losing hair. I saw people with drinking problems. I saw people that came to work every day or didn't come to work, but they had a ton of stress and pressure on them that they didn't want. So they were in a position that they had hoped and dreamed for, but then they weren't prepared for it when they got there. And that's why I love the industry that I'm in, because network marketing says you have to actually prepare yourself to be at the top. Because if you don't prepare yourself to be at the top through personal development and actually doing the work, taking the hits, if you don't prepare yourself, then you're going to find some of the same stuff at the top that you would in traditional corporate America. It's no different. The more that you're giving, the more is required. So you have to be ready. But as you rise through the ranks, guys, if you pay attention and you plug into whatever you're doing, if you plug in to that thing, I don't care what it is, if you plug into it and learn the lessons that it takes to move up there, and as you move up and you start to get to the top, guess what? You're going to be prepared, because now you're going into it with the right mindset, right? And Carmel says, you're so right. I was literally thinking of that the other day. People get comfortable in their mess and get used to the smell of mediocrity. Absolutely. Pam says, just stand out. Don't just settle at the bottom. So guys, there's a lot of value in what we do, and if whatever it is that you do, but whatever you do, guys, you got to learn to be emotionally passionate about what you do, as opposed to being passionately emotional. And that's the last key that I'm going to give you guys to actually how you get to the top. And first of all, we know why you don't want to stay at the bottom. We've settled it. That is way too crowded down there, and that's mediocrity. Just drive to the top. Start rising to the top. Do what it takes to get to the top, right? So we've determined that. But what happens when you finally get there, right? There's some stuff that you got to make sure that you deploy, because you got there. But it's the mindset that gets you there. You want to be a beast, think like a beast. If you want it, then deploy those principles, right? I want to play a song for you guys. But the mindset piece is so powerful, because being emotionally passionate is kind of like one of the main keys. And people don't talk about it all the time, because this thing is mental. Man, it's mental. All right. So you have to figure out whether you want to be emotionally passionate or passionately emotional. And here's the key. One says, no matter what happens in your business, you can take those hits and you can think like a business person, like an adult, like a CEO of your business, like I'm an entrepreneur. I started this thing and I got to think like the person that's going to maintain and keep this thing going for years to come. If you think that way, guys, that means you are being emotionally passionate about what it is that you do. But if you're the person that gets turned around and put upside down for every little thing, every time the wind blows, you're wavering in the wind and you're left and right. And every time somebody says something to you that you don't feel good about, then you that means you are passionately emotional, right? Stop being so emotional and so passionate about being emotional, because everybody about my feelings, how I feel like that. Oh my God, you hurt my feelings. Now I'm gonna tell you something. You will never rise through the ranks of whatever you're doing being emotional. You won't. Get it through your head that not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna gel with you. Okay. Not everybody's gonna listen to everything that you're saying. Not everybody's gonna come to everything that you do. Get in your head that not everybody's going to promote what it is that you do. Not everybody's going to sing your song, be on the same page, sing the same tune. It's not going to happen. It just doesn't. There are too many different types and variables of people out there. And God didn't call you to save the entire world. He only called you to save the people, to lead the people that will follow you. But here's what happens. And I'm gonna tell you guys, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. And here's the catalyst, okay? Because I love the industry of network marketing. It's a very demanding industry, right? It's very demanding. I'm gonna tell you guys why it's demanding here in a minute. But it's very demanding. You've got traditional corporate America, then you've got network marketing, right? And this is telling you guys why there's room at the top right now, okay, for you to rise. It's very, very demanding. Why is it so demanding? Traditional business, right? If you want to be a police officer, you've got a lot of people that right there that think like police officers. If you want to be a doctor, you go to school, you learn to be a doctor. You're in the arena around people that just want to be doctors. If you want to be a teacher, mindset, people want to be teachers. Whatever you go to do in traditional corporate America, guys, you're around people with a like precious mindset, right? So that's the easy part of corporate America. But get this, in network marketing, what's going on, Jason T. Jones? Welcome to the grind, sir. If you're in network marketing, that means you're exposed to a lot of different types of people, a lot of different types of people. So remember the thing that we always say, it doesn't matter if you just came from Yale or just got out of jail. Guys, you can build a business in network marketing because it's about the mindset that you deploy. It's about numero uno. What am I going to do? If it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? So what am I going to do to secure my future? It's not dependent on anybody else except for me. So now you've got your mindset. Think about the way you think and the way you feel. And if you think I'm not telling you guys 100, go on social media and start looking through some comments of something. It could be the most far-fetched thing in the world that you see, and you think, man, that is insane. There's going to be a handful of people that love it. There's going to be a handful of people that hate it. There's going to be a handful of people that are on the fence about it. Guys, people have different mentalities. People have different likes. People have different values. The world is different. Everybody is different. And you do yourself a great service if you don't get caught up in how different everybody is. You have to shoot the regular of what you are and to grow yourself to be the best person that you can be based on your values, right? What's your character? That's what you want to be. But this is why this industry can be difficult, and people don't understand that this is one of the keys that unlocks you rising to the top. You have to be able to separate your emotions from your professionalism, guys. You cannot get upset when people start to tell you different things or say something because guess what? They may think different to you. Right. And I love what Pam says. Pam says, you know what? I've learned how to how to eat the meat and throw away the bones, right? So if you've learned how to take the things that a person says that are good for you and throw the rest away, then you'll survive in this business. But if you take everything in and you take everything personal, you think every Facebook post is about you, you think every Instagram post is about you, you're on social media every day like this all day long, scrolling through social media, trying to see who's being great instead of being great. If that's what you're doing every day, guys, then you're wasting time. On average, guys, they say the average person spends 2 to 3 hours a day on social media. Just scrolling. I'm not talking about posting. I'm talking about just scrolling just to see what people are doing. If you recapture those hours every single week, right? That's 21 hours that you can actually put back into your arsenal, put back into your bag, guys, to be great. Everybody say there's not enough hours in a day. You've got the same amount of hours as everybody else has. That just means you're not using your hours wisely. So you have to get out of the habit of the first thing you do in the morning is you lay there in the bed and you scroll through social media for an hour. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I don't do. I'm just telling you what I know. I want to be productive. I want to maximize my time. I want to look at social media just enough to where I know who's DMing me. I know who's inboxing me, and I can respond to that. There's a certain amount of time in my day that I'm going to be on social media. And I don't care who's mad at me because I didn't like this. I don't care who's mad at me because I didn't respond to this. I don't care who's mad at me because I said this, because I'm never going to say anything on my social media page that 100% of the people I know are going to like. Never. I've already come to that conclusion. So I don't get hung up in it, guys. I don't get hung up in, oh, I got to like this because of this. I got to like that because if I don't like that, such and such is going to get mad and think that I don't want it. We don't have time for that, guys. There's no way you can maximize and be productive if that's what you're doing every day. That's not productive, right? So if you get in your productive zone, right? If you understand that, you know what, the only way I'm going to rise up through the top, man, only way I'm going to rise up through the top is I got to be productive. I got to make the most time of my day. And if I make the most time in my day every day, that means as I'm rising, somebody's trying to pull me down. I'm going to guarantee you that's going to happen to you. Okay. If it's not already happening, somebody's trying to pull you down. And if you guys are attached to Pam and I, you know, one of the big things that we teach is discernment. Okay. You got to be able to discern who people are and what their intentions are. If you become a great discerner, then you can maximize and focus your time on the people that maximize your time and focus your attention on the people that actually need it, and not the people that are just saying, okay, I just want to be here to pull on your skirt. I just want to be here to pull on your shirt and hold you down long enough for me to catch up, or hold you down long enough so I don't feel like I'm getting left. Guys, you just got to, you got to move, and with the understanding that I'm discerning who's ready and who's not ready. And guess what? You're not going to please everybody. You're not. And remember, guys, this is the grind. This is the realest show ever. I'm going to say things on this show, guys, that a lot of people don't want to hear. But if I said something on the show and it hurt your feelings, or you thought I was talking about you, or you know what, I'm not listening to this show anymore because he keeps talking about me, then that's your perception. And maybe if I am talking about you, if you think I'm talking about you, then I'll say this, maybe I am. Because sometimes people need to hear things that they're not accustomed to hearing, and to spark them into doing things that they're not accustomed to doing, which can be the very thing that moves you to the next level. And you finally open up. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've got from people that have said, you know what, Nate, what you said the other day, really, it touched me, or it sparked something in me. I've never heard that before. Nobody's ever told me the truth before. Nobody's ever told me what I really needed to hear. Nobody's ever told me that I was being lazy and I need to get up and start doing some work instead of just talking about it all the time. Nobody ever told me that I couldn't make money, you know, just by scrolling through social media, but never posting and never selling anything. Nobody ever told me that I really had the beast And instead of just talking about being a beast, nobody ever told me that motivation lasts for just a moment. I thought that I could motivate myself, to the next level. I thought that I could just not do anything. I thought that I could lay in my bed and do whatever I wanted to do every single day. And then I'm going to be a millionaire because I'm doing the things that millionaires do. Millionaires they don't go to a job. They write their own ticket. They do what they want to do every day. They get out of bed when they want to get out. So I'm doing that, but you're not a millionaire yet. You haven't reached your goals yet. You don't have any cushion in the bank. You don't have anything going on for yourself. So you all of a sudden, now you're going to be a beast, but you're not a beast. You put the mask on and you say you're going to be a beast, but you never really have the insides of a beast. So guys, I can't tell you how many people have called and told me that, man, if I would have never heard it that way, I would have never gotten it. If you would have never taken the gloves off and been willing to take the hit for people telling you, oh, Coach Nate, that was just mean, or Coach Nate, man, that was, that hurt my feelings. And the first thing I'm going to say is, yep, I'm glad it hurt your feelings because you shouldn't be in your feelings anyway. Get out of your feelings, ladies and gentlemen. Get out of your feelings. Stop worrying about what people are saying about you. Stop worrying about what people are posting on social media that may have said, spoken to you in a negative way. Man, let me tell you, when you start focusing on the things that are going to move you to the next level, guys, you stop focusing on the things that are not. They just, it's like a social media algorithm, right? If you go on social media and you don't like certain things that just don't drive you, they're not pushing you. If you don't like certain things or you're not clicking on certain things on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, they have certain algorithms that they won't show you that stuff anymore because they're charting your habits, your patterns, and they want to see what you want to see is what you see. What you click on, what you do is what you see. If we get that way in life, focused on just the things that we know are going to push us to the next level with the intent to say, okay, there's some things that I know, man, there's some people over here that are doing some great things. Let me like this, I love this, man, this is awesome. I think this is helping, and the same tip, if it's not hurting, if it's hurting people, then you just scroll past it. You don't have to feel the intent, the need. I'm just telling you guys what I do. I don't feel the need to comment and say, oh, this sucks. You shouldn't do this, and yada, yada, yada. You're never going to please everybody, and you're never going to get 100% reception on anything that you do. Okay, I don't care even if it is a comment. All right. So guys, I'm giving you guys the ingredients that you need or the steps you need to get to the top. And because it's not crowded up there, and if it's not crowded, then that should be where you want to be. My final comments here, guys, that I have, and read some of them. Then we're going to end this show. Okay, so Pam McCray says, no, not me. I'm not scrolling team, but that's why I don't see most of your posts. I look just enough to build my business. Absolutely. People keep asking us, guys, how are you guys, doing what you do? We focus. I don't know anything else to tell you. Let's get in productive zone. Carmel says hours of scrolling is a big time and energy sucker. It is, guys. All right. Nobody's telling you not to support the things that people are doing. But what I am telling you, when you get stuck in the role where all you're doing is scrolling through liking it and never doing anything on your own, you're not being productive. And I can tell you right now, you're just going to be that person that just likes everything but does nothing. All right. Not telling you not to like people's stuff. So don't go back and say, Coach Nate told me don't like nobody else's stuff anymore. And you guys may laugh, but people do that. Honestly, people do that. They don't see the original intent. I always tell you guys, I want you to hear my heart. Hear my heart in what I'm saying, because anything that I'm saying, guys, I'm saying it so it can move to the next level. Tawana Simmons says, I need to hear this. You speak to help us, not to hurt us. Absolutely. But sometimes people perceive it as hurt, and that's okay. Vovo says she's working on it. She's working on her focus. Well, you had your focus in, Vovo, by going directly, then duplicate that effort, double it, and then go executive. Awesome job. Carmel says, I still hear exactly what you said in our last convo. It stuck. He said, I needed to hear it. I might cry, but I will wipe my tears and get to work. People need to that to succeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. Pam McCray says, yes, you can't please everyone, man. Absolutely. So guys, get in your zone, man. And your zone is not your comfort zone. Stretch yourself mentally, physically, and stretch yourself financially. That means if you stretch yourself financially, that doesn't mean you're stretching and doing more with your money, guys. That means that you're stretching and being more frugal. I can tell you most people that have money, they get very frugal with their money because there's a lot of different variables. And I got to tell you, everybody, and I want you guys to write this down if you're taking any notes today, very, very important. Okay. Very, very important. Everybody has money problems. Everybody has money problems. Somebody's saying, no, people that have money don't have money problems. Yeah, there's money problems are on different scales, okay? You either have little money problems or big money problems, but here's some of the problems. Sometimes you got money problems because you can't manage the money. Sometimes you got money problems because you don't have the money to manage. Sometimes you got money problems because once you get money, everybody wants money because there's a sense of entitlement. They say, you know, remember when I did this, this, and that for you, so you should give me some money. There's money problems everywhere. Everybody has money problems, from the richest person to the poorest person. Everybody has money problems. So you have to figure out where you fit in the equation as you're trying to move and get more money, get more status, because to whom much is given, much is required. That's why we always talk about foundation. And that's why we always talk about being ready, stand in line to get your blessing. Because if you get out of line, if you're not ready when it comes, I can promise you, you're going to lose it. So guys, thank you guys for chiming into the grind this morning, man. It was awesome as always, being able to talk to you guys. I want to see what song I want to play for you guys right quick. Here's what I want to do. I want to play this. I got time. I think I got a little time. I'm going to play this, and it's about change, and it's going to take a little time. So you guys hang on. It's about 8 minutes, but I want you guys to hear it because I think it's going to speak to somebody today. If you're that person and you know that there's something that you should be doing, man, you should listen to this and get out of that comfort zone, man. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for being a part of the grind, man. And as I said, man, praying that if somebody's going to come to be my program manager to keep me straight, I'm letting God send me that person, the person that's got that heart, man, that servant's heart that's gonna come in and say, you know what, I'm in this thing with you. I want to help you take the grind to the next level, and still praying for that person, but God's going to send me the right person. So listen to this, guys, and then we'll end the show, man. We'll see you guys bright and early on Tuesday morning for the next edition of the grind, man. Love you guys. See if I can get this thing to play here.
There are moments in life when you just want to know who you are. It's not that you're lost, it's that there's a feeling you have that something is changing. You don't know what, but something is about to change. Who you are doesn't feel so certain anymore. What used to do it for you last year isn't getting it anymore. What used to satisfy you last year isn't touching you anymore. What used to be comfortable and familiar doesn't feel easy anymore. It's starting to get heavy. It's starting to look like a distraction. You're not sure, but the feeling you have that some old habits might have to change. You're not sure, but you're starting to realize that how you spend your time might have to change. You're not really sure, but you're almost convinced that some friends might have to go. That feeling, that's the beginning of one of the realest things there is in life. That's the beginning of a trip that will test you and pull you into parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. It's the beginning of a thing called growth. It's something we all need. It's a requirement for life, and all of us get at it in different ways. Growth is what keeps life going. It's the reason we arrive at a new year and everybody has a new resolution. Something they want to add to get better at. Something they want to grow. I'm going to get in shape. How many times have you heard that before? I'm going to discover my worth and treat myself better. How many times have you thought that before? But do you realize that within the first 2 weeks of making a New Year's resolution, 95% of the people who said they would, who committed to it, they break that resolution. 95%. That's high. Growth isn't easy. Growth is not a walk in the park. Growth is hard. It's not easy waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to work out. It's difficult going back to school, trying to earn a degree you should have earned 11 years ago, holding down 3 kids, a job you can't afford to lose. It's difficult to confront all the issues of your past because you want something more for your future. Growth is change, and change is the one thing that terrifies as much as it excites. It's the one thing that is hoped for as much as it's despised. It's the one thing that people ask for and in the same breath reject. Change is inevitable. Change is terrifying, but change is all there is. Nobody gets to be 3 years old forever. People come, people go. You have it today, you lose it tomorrow. Try all you want, but you can't stop it. It happens regardless. And that's it. The real hang-up. You have no control over it. And that's terrifying. The growth, that's the authentic, that's the spontaneous nature of growth. It just happens. And sometimes you don't feel prepared for it. You can feel something about to change, but you don't feel prepared. When you don't feel prepared, let me ask you this. What do you whisper to yourself? Can I really do this? Can I really divorce this person? Can I live without them? What have you told yourself because you didn't feel ready? I'm too old to go back to school.
90 seconds.
I can't change now. What do you believe because you don't feel you're ready? You don't feel you have what it takes. You may not know this, but growth is automatic. It's built into nature. And believe it or not, it actually has a formula. A mathematical formula that describes spontaneous, efficient growth. Nature's code, the golden section, the Fibonacci sequence. It's a growth pattern you see everywhere in nature. It's in plants. You cut a banana in half,
60 seconds.
and it's there. You see in snail shells, it even describes the way your hair grows. Cut up all your hair and watch it grow back. There's a spiral that forms the crown of your head that describes that growth. Growth is spontaneous. It happens by itself. It happens because it has to. It happens because it must. Your problem is that you think you have to design it. You believe you have to prepare it. But the truth is, all you have to do is move. All you have to do is act. Act on that feeling that you can't describe. Act on that sense that there's something more in you. Action is all it takes to grow. Look at it. The Fibonacci sequence begins 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, and
10 seconds.
You see, what's happening is that every step up, every change, every level switch, every growth move is the result of what came before. Nothing new, nothing added, only what came before. What I'm saying to you is that everything you need to grow, everything you need to get to the next level, you already have. You've already been through it. That's how you get 3, 1, and 2. That's how you get 5, right? 3 and 2. 8, 5, and 3, and so on and so on. But the sequence started with 0. It all starts with 0. 0 is potential. 0 is the engine. 0 is the driver. And that's you. The thing that comes next is 1. That's action. That's movement. That's doing something. That's making a decision. That's all there is. There is you, and there's what you decide. And at the end of that, it's either growth on anything you imagine or nothing at all. It's painful to have to end the relationship after 7 years just hanging out. It's not easy to pick up the phone after 10 years of silence and say, I'm sorry. It takes everything you have to get back up, stitch up the wounds, and start again. It's that it's time to change. It's time to let go. It's time to become something else. There's always that question mark, how am I going to do this? But the beauty of this whole thing is that you don't need to know how you're going to do it. All you have to do is decide. See, I believe that there comes a time in life when all you have is what you feel. You don't have any answers. You don't know why. You don't know how you're going to do it. You don't know what you're going to break. You don't know who's going to leave. But you know that time has run out. And if something is going to happen, it's going to happen now. There comes a time in life when you say enough. I'm getting out of here. I'm going to change something. The year's over. Something new is starting. What are you about to change? From all of us at Motivation HQ, Happy New Year. My name is Angela.
The Grind with Nathan McCray.
Just no way you can get enough of me. Yo, Mr.
Giving real insight needed daily. Call 657-383-1291. 657-383-1291. It's blogtalkradio.com. The Grind 101. Join your host, Nathan McCray, 8 a.m. Eastern, every Tuesday through Thursday for an unscripted conversation. It's The Grind, 657-383-1291.